This morning on KXAN News Today, a district attorney and his wife are found dead this weekend, and now police are trying to find a suspect.
The accused Colorado theater shooter is expected in court today, and prosecutors will decide whether to seek the death penalty. We're going to take you to Aurora just ahead.
And on our roads this morning, taking it to the tolls, how a new toll road discount program can help our morning commute, coming up right now.
Good morning, everyone. It is 4:30, bright and early. I'm Sally Hernandez.
I'm Brian Sanders. Good Monday morning to you, April 1st. Weather and traffic together all morning long with Mark and Amanda. And how's it looking out there?
A little warm. Clouds built in last night, but nothing serious out there this morning.
There will be extra security this morning at the Kaufman County Courthouse.
This after a county prosecutor and his wife were shot dead inside their own home, and police to continue to search for a suspect.
This morning, investigators in North Texas, east of Dallas, are connecting the dots to other high-profile killings and possible connections to a violent prison gang. On Saturday, police found the bodies of Kaufman County DA Mike McClellan and his wife, Cynthia. Our sister station in Dallas is reporting an assault rifle was used to kill the McClellans. This morning, leaders in the area are urging people to remain calm.
It's unnerving to the law enforcement community. It's unnerving to the community at large.
The murders come 2 months after the county's assistant prosecutor, Mark Hassey, was killed on his way to work at the courthouse. Authorities are exploring a possible link between the two crimes. McClellan had vowed to fight justice right after that shooting in January.
I hope that the people that did this are watching, because we're very confident that we're going to find you. We're going to pull you out of whatever hole you're in, and we're going to bring you back and let the people of Kaufman County prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law.
Investigators were already looking into whether the assistant district attorney's murder was connected to another high-profile killing of a public official, Colorado Prison Chief Tom Clemens. The suspect in that case, who was part of a white supremacist group, was later killed in a shootout in North Texas. Right now, federal authorities say they haven't found any solid connection among the murders.
4:33 right now, and a crucial hearing today in the case against James Holmes, accused in that Aurora theater shooting massacre that left 12 people dead and 70 others injured last July. Well, later on this morning, prosecutors are expected to say whether they will seek the death penalty against him. Leanne Gregg is in Centennial, Colorado with the latest.
You have a right to be represented by an attorney.
The fate of James Holmes, seen here during an earlier hearing, is now in the hands of prosecutors who later this morning will announce their next move, which could be to seek the death penalty. Leanne Gregg, NBC News, Centennial, Colorado.
Well, this morning, police are still investigating what caused a crash that left 2 people dead.
It happened in Williamson County, and Georgetown police say a person driving on Williams Drive turned onto Del Webb Boulevard and hit a car coming from the other direction. The second car flipped and hit a utility pole. Crews had to cut the car in order to get to the driver, a 29-year-old man. He was taken to the hospital but died on the way. A woman in the same car died at the scene. The other driver was okay, and so far no charges have been filed. We'll follow the developments throughout the day and bring you the latest updates on KXAN.com.
And another deadly crash this morning out of Virginia to tell you about. 3 people killed and dozens more injured in a multi-vehicle pileup crash. Nearly 100 vehicles in all were involved in the pileup on I-77, that's in Carroll County. Several vehicles caught fire, backing up traffic in the southbound lanes for about 8 miles. Highway officials had to close the northbound lanes so emergency vehicles could even get to that crash. And there was heavy fog in that area at the time of the wreck.
Check this out. A would-be burglar is in jail this morning, but it's how he was caught that's the real story. Around 5 o'clock yesterday morning in Utah, Eric Martin heard a noise, jumped from his bed, grabbed his gun, and ran into the living room. He found the burglar, his arms full of Martin's stuff. Martin chased him outside, where the burglar tripped and fell, and Martin held him at gunpoint while his girlfriend called the cops. When they arrived, Martin stayed behind a wall because he was stark naked and a bit shy.
That's probably the only time that one can be naked in public, obviously outside, and not get in trouble for indecent exposure.
Whatever it takes. The cops hauled the suspect away. Martin went inside to put on some pants.
All right. Well, somebody did not put on his pants. This is something you never hear about in golf. A man drops his pants so that he can make a shot. Golfer Andreas Hardo removes his shoes and socks and drops his trousers to take a messy, oh my, chip out of the water.
Hello.
Hello. Was it worth it, though, saving his pants from even getting wet? I don't know. He finished the tournament 4 under par and tied for 15. So, oh, we don't need that shot.
See, the only time I have to do that is when I don't hit it past the ladies' tees. They make me do that.
Yeah, we've heard about that
to my
before.
ball. Yeah.
But if it's in the water, I'm letting it lay in the water.
Why not?
Or get it.
Right.
Or if you are, get your pants wet.
Yeah.
You know, come on.
Well, it's going to be a good day for golf today. Get on the golf course, maybe hit the tee box. A wonderful afternoon as we're looking at some sunshine and plenty of warm air spilling in, too. We're looking at highs in the mid to upper 80s today, but rain showers on the forefront. We'll let you know when they'll get here. Plus, with the rain, will be a midweek cool down. It's all coming up in just a few.
2 fender benders coming into the Traffic Report Center. I'll tell you exactly where and if they're slowing anything down coming up.
Also on the roads yesterday, the Easter Bunny. Why he was stopped by police when we come back. Welcome back this morning. An investigation after an Austin officer shoots a dog.
Austin police say officers shot the dog after it reportedly attacked. Happened yesterday afternoon around 12:30 on Branston Drive.
Austin police tell us an officer was loading the dogs into a patrol car when they tried to bite the officer. When the dogs surrounded the backup officers, they yelled at the dogs and shot at the animal's leg, but the dog is expected to survive. You may remember an incident this time last year has sparked change at Austin police. Animal activists were angry after an officer shot and killed Cisco, an Australian cattle dog, last April when officers showed up to the wrong home while responding to a domestic disturbance call. Now, new cadets must go to a 2-hour course on how to deal with dogs. Also, when officers were called out to a home that's had an issue involving a dog in the past, an animal control officer will also automatically be called out as well.
Well, plenty of kids spent Sunday looking for the Easter Bunny, but it looks like the California Highway Patrol got to him first. Troopers there pulled over a person wearing an Easter Bunny costume while riding a motorcycle down I-8. Turns out the giant mascot head doesn't count as a helmet, you see, and so that's why they pulled him over. And the rabbit was on his way to a charity event. He was given just a lecture and a warning, but he was not given a ticket.
Not the Easter Bunny's best moment.
No, he was just trying to go and help, a charity.
The latest from the web coming up next. Our fan favorite from KXAN.com, Jackie Vega, has a look at what's trending online this morning. Welcome back. KXAN.com is your best stop this morning for the latest headlines, weather, and news while at work or on the go.
And with a few other things that you're going to want to check out today, here's our web reporter, Jackie Vega.
But could be a finals preview there between the Heat and the Spurs.
Could be.
Time winding down.
It was good to see Louisville win that game, too. That was a pretty horrific injury in the right before the halftime, I believe it happened. So it was pretty rough.
And that's their new inspiration right now, is playing for their teammate.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the weather and how it's going to look like today.
Well, we need the rain. We know that badly. So we have the chance for it finally returning. We talked about it earlier, but here's your drought status monitor. Notice most of the area in a severe drought, even the extreme drought with the red there beginning to really expand. So we're going to let you know how much rain we're going to get this week and when the best chances will be coming up.
All right, and this is a live look outside I-35 at 51st. Still pretty quiet for the most part. I'll have those traffic maps coming up.
Also coming up next, another year's worth of testing at local schools kicks off, and the future of one high school is being debated when we come back.
Good morning. TxDOT is giving reduced rates when it comes to the tolls. Coming up, find out what drivers qualify.
And police are on the hunt this morning for 4 suspects involved in a deadly shooting in downtown Austin, where it happened, and a closer look at the crime in that area just ahead.
Also, it's a busy week for our state lawmakers at the Capitol. The bill that could affect your health and your job coming up right now.
It is coming up on the 5 o'clock hour. Welcome, everyone. I'm Sally Hernandez.
I'm Brian Sanders. Weather and traffic first with Amanda and Mark as we start April. Mark?
Yeah, April Fool's Day, by the way, so get those pranks ready to go.
Careful.
And,
it's snowing outside.
Right, exactly.
No school. It's snowing.
3 feet today.
And starting today, the state is pushing a new incentive to help ease your commute on I-35. For the next year, truck drivers will get a discount on certain toll roads. The Texas Department of Transportation hopes this will help congestion on Interstate 35 and make it safer. KXAN Sophia Beausoleil is live on SH 130. How are things looking out there as of right now, Sophia?
Good morning, Mandy. Well, it's quite bare. It's still early, but as some may know, even during the daytime, it's still pretty bare out here. So the state is hoping that this new initiative to have reduced rates will increase the traffic on here when it comes to truck drivers, and that they'll take advantage of these tollways. Now, from today until next March, truck drivers will pay what you and I pay between Georgetown and Seguin on State Highway 130 and State Highway 45 Southeast. They'll pay about $18 or less. Now, TxDOT says for trucks with 4 axles or more, this would provide a 67% discount. The department tested out the toll discount in late of 2011 and the beginning of January 2012. This is what they found. Truck tolls increased more than 50% on both toll roads. That is part of the reason why they've extended this discount. So again, let's break this down for you. The discount will last until March 30th of next year. It's for truck drivers who travel nonstop between Georgetown and Seguin on South Interstate 130 and SH 45 Southeast. Now they'll pay the passenger vehicle rate, which is amount to $18 or less. Again, to help ease the traffic on I-35, Amanda, we hear you every morning telling us how congested it is, so they hope that this will ease the congestion and add to the safety. Also, we'll have more coming up when it comes to whether they'll make this a permanent discount in the future. Reporting live on I-130, Sophia Beausoleil, KXAN News. Brian, back to you.
All right, thank you, Sophia. Well, there is another idea being tossed around right now at the state capitol that could bring additional relief to congestion on I-35. The proposal calls for eliminating tolls on SH 130. According to the bill, lawmakers would pay the $3 billion price tag with about $1.5 billion from the Rainy Day Fund and the rest coming from matching federal funds. This morning, Austin police are looking for 4 suspects connected to a deadly shooting from over the weekend. It happened near the intersection of Trinity and East 11th just after 3 o'clock Sunday morning. Police say 2 groups of people got into a fight.
When someone pulled a gun, and that's when shots were fired, and a man, we're told, was killed. Friends of the victim have since placed flowers and candles at the street corner. A man that we talked with says that his friend was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Because he was a workaholic. He's always working. Right now he had 2 jobs. So work was a big part of his life.
Austin police are looking for 3 women and a man all seen leaving the scene during that shooting in a black 4-door sedan. You know, compared to the other parts of downtown Austin, we checked out the intersection of 11th and Trinity, and we found out it's typically quiet in that area. And we looked at crime numbers from around the area of 11th and Trinity from last year. And there were 27 thefts, 19 assaults, including 2 on a police officer. And those numbers may seem high, but just to the south, when you head over to 6th Street, there were more of all of those crimes in just the past month than in the entire year around 11th and Trinity.
A Williamson County man accused of killing a 23-year-old college student has a court date today. Police say Fred Yazdi shot and killed Enrique Recio. The Texas State student crashed his car into a retaining wall along Avery Ranch Boulevard in February of last year. Police say when Recio stopped onto Yazdi's property, Yazdi threatened and then shot him. Jury selection in Yazdi's trial is expected to start next month.
Time check right now is 5:05, and a big week for middle school students here in Austin and across the state. Schools are going to be handing out the STAR test, and standardized testing is a big issue over at the Capitol this year. State Senate leaders are going to take up a bill that would cut the number of mandatory tests kids must pass to graduate from 15 to down to 5. And Austin school leaders meet tonight to talk over the future of a troubled high school. Today's meeting is just a discussion about the timeline for Eastside Memorial High School. That school has been on the radar because of low performance, and the Texas Education Agency is now looking into it. Well, now AISD board members have a major decision to talk about. Do they shut it down, return it to its deal with Idea Charter Schools, or turn it over to a new partner program?
Talk over health care in Texas at the state capitol today. There will be a roundtable discussion on Medicaid. Governor Perry, along with both U.S. Senators John Cornyn and Ted Cruz of Texas, will lead a discussion over expanding Medicaid in the state. State GOP leaders don't want to expand Medicaid because of the federal mandates that come with it. Democrats say expanding Medicaid would bring in federal funds to Texas, which would help more than 1 million people who currently don't have health insurance. Advocates on both sides of the issue will hold their own press conferences later this morning. Lawmakers in Austin will tackle several major topics that affect your health, your job, and your tax dollars.
Our political reporter Josh Hinkle has a look ahead at a busy week for legislators.
Big developments coming up this week at the state capitol. The first is a roundtable on Medicaid in Texas on Monday. Stay on top of all the developments at the capitol. Visit KXAN.com and click on our legislative tab. And be sure to join us every Sunday morning at 8:30 for In Session In Depth. Josh Hinkle, KXAN News.
And this month, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will be here in Texas to give her first paid speech since leaving office. A Democratic source says Clinton's planning to speak to the National Multi-Housing Council in Dallas, but didn't say how much she's being paid. Clinton will likely be a popular speaker, though we know that, who could earn a 6-figure payment per her appearances. Her husband, former President Bill Clinton, has made at least $89 million in speech-related income since leaving the White House. Hey, do you know a teen driver who is going way too fast or is easily distracted? Up next, a new app that can help you monitor their driving habits.
And with the start of April means the deadline for tax returns is close. Coming up, how to avoid a common tax scam happening this year. Welcome back this morning. Google is testing a same-day delivery business. The news service is called Google Shopping Express and has 9 retailers, including Target, Walgreens, Office Depot, and Toys R Us. Testers will get free delivery during a 6-month test period. The delivery also includes a questionnaire about what other stores should be added. Right now, Google is testing the service only in the San Francisco Bay Area. If you really want to know if your teenage driver is following the rules of the road, there are a number of apps that can help you. An app called Canary can be installed on the teen's iPhone or Android cell phone. It will send an alert if the teen sends a text, tweet, or uses Facebook while driving. The app can provide daily or weekly reports. It operates on iPhone, Android, BlackBerry, iPad, and Galaxy tablet devices. There are other apps that will alert parents if their teen goes over a set speed. Some apps even allow parents to block features or shut down a cell phone remotely. As if it weren't bad enough that the tax deadline is fast approaching, the IRS says there are other things you need to worry about when filing your taxes this year, including scams. The most common way a thief steals an ID is by sending emails to unsuspecting taxpayers. These phony phishing emails that internet security experts say look like they come from the IRS.
They're looking for the things that we're filing in our tax information. They're looking for your social security number. They're looking for your home address, your spouse, your kids, and all of their social security numbers.
The IRS says it never initiates contact with taxpayers through email, and if you get one, to send it to phishing@irs.gov. Also, another cause for security concern this morning. Many of us have been asked for our zip code at the checkout counter of a store. But did you ever wonder what the company does with that information?
Most people don't realize, okay, well, gosh, they need that to be able to process my credit card. That's not the fact.
Your zip code is often used by the store to plan future advertising, expansion, or send you direct mail. But in California, it's against privacy laws to collect your zip code at the store when making a credit card transaction. Our Sophia Beausoleil is live along State Highway 130 this morning talking about a toll discount. Hi, Sophia.
Good morning, Brian. So it's supposed to help smooth traffic on I-35. Coming up, we're going to talk about a discount when it comes to these toll roads and who exactly qualifies for it.
Morning, everyone. 5:23 is your time on this Monday, April 1st. It's April Fool's Day. So just a heads up if you're getting ready to head out the door. This morning we had the latest when it comes to your weather. Amanda has your traffic, but let's check out some of your health news right now. A condition that doctors say should be treated in kids is obstructive sleep apnea. A new study from the University of Arizona finds that if left untreated, it may be linked with behavior and attention problems in kids. And the study found that the odds of having behavioral problems were 6 times higher in children with persistent sleep apnea. San Francisco researchers made a game-changing discovery that could lead to treatments or cure for people with diabetes and even degenerative diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. They were working to understand more about breast cancer when they discovered special cells from breast tissue that have the ability to change, much like embryonic stem cells.
They can turn into breast tissue or nerve tissue. They can turn into beating heart cells or fat or blood vessels, or they can turn into pancreas, tissues like that.
So up until now, researchers believe only embryonic cells had the ability to change, and they didn't really think adult cells had that potential. So what does this mean? It means that the hope is there for finding one day that doctors will be able to harness the power of the body's own patch kit to repair damaged organs, tissue, and bones.
Starting today, Burnett County deputies will start enforcing a new 24-hour operation targeting drivers and boaters. This new initiative is also aimed at saving resources. DWI suspects will be taken to jail where their blood will be drawn instead of getting the procedure at a local hospital. It is getting to be boating season now with the start of April.
Sure is, and the warmer weather is coming around, at least for today, although tomorrow and Wednesday we're going to see a little bit of a cool down.
It's like a roller coaster, huh?
Just about to say, yeah, it's been all over the place the past couple of weeks, but we'll stay warm today, no doubt about that. But check out this picture from yesterday, Easter Sunday hail in Spicewood. Sarah took this picture. It looks like a little accumulation there of those pea-sized hail pellets in her front yard. We'll let you know if any showers, maybe not storms, but rain showers are in our forecast coming up.
And we're looking over at I-35 at Parker Drive right near Round Rock. As you can see, traffic picking up just a bit in those southbound lanes. I'll have those traffic maps for you coming up.
Also, the accused Colorado theater shooter is expected in court today, and prosecutors will decide whether to seek the death penalty. We'll take you to Aurora just ahead.
Good morning. TxDOT is extending toll cuts when it comes to truck drivers. Coming up, how it's supposed to ease your commute in the morning.
Also, a district attorney and his wife shot dead, and now police are trying to find a suspect. The latest in the case and possible connections to other high-profile murders coming up right now.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to KXAN News Today. I'm Sally Atlantis.
I'm Brian Sanders. Bottom of the hour now at 5:30 on this Monday, April 1st, and weather and traffic together with Mark and Amanda. It is spring-like outside. Well, starting today, you could see less congestion on I-35.
Because the state is extending discounted tolls for truck drivers for the next year, and TxDOT is hoping that this is going to help alleviate some of the traffic on I-35, push it over to another place. KXAN's Sophia Beausoleil is live near State Highway 130. Sophia, what stretch of road are we talking about when it comes to the discount, and is this a permanent solution?
Good morning, Sally. So SH 130, which is where we are at right now near Pflugerville, and also SH 45 Southeast. Now, when it comes to this discount being permanent, at this time, TxDOT says that is not possible because they have to repay debts when it comes to toll revenues. Regardless, they are hoping that these discounts at the tolls will help with the congestion on I-35. So starting today until next March, truck drivers will pay what you and I pay. Between Georgetown and Seguin on SH 130 and SH 45 Southeast, they'll pay about $18 or less. So TxDOT says for truck drivers with 4 axles or more, this will provide a 67% discount. The department tested out the toll discount last year, and they found that truck tolls increased more than 50% on both toll roads. That is part of the reason why they've extended this discount. So again, let's break this down for you. The discount will last until March 30th of next year. It's for truck drivers who travel nonstop between Georgetown and Seguin on SH 130 and or SH 45 Southeast. They'll pay the passenger vehicle rate, which means less than $18 for them. Again, the whole point is just to ease that congestion, whether it's in the morning, the afternoon, or in the evening when you're trying to get home, and to make the roads safer. Coming up, we're going to talk to TxDOT Live here, and they're going to give us more in depth on how this will help you when it comes to your daily commute and keep it more safe. Reporting live from SH 130, Sophia Beausoleil, KXAN News.
Any
Sally,
little bit
back
help.
to you.
Okay, thank you, Sophia, for that. Time check right now is 4:33. You know, the year-long program comes after a successful test earlier this year. During the month of February, transportation officials tried out a discount for big rigs, and a large number of truckers liked it. They headed over to the toll road. Truck traffic on SH 130 increased about 50%.
There will be extra security this morning at the Kaufman County Courthouse.
You know, this after a county prosecutor and his wife were shot dead inside their own home, and the search continues this morning for the killer.
This morning, investigators in North Texas, east of Dallas, are connecting the dots to other high-profile killings and possible connections to a violent prison gang. On Saturday, police found the bodies of Kaufman County DA Mike McClellan and his wife Cynthia. Our sister station in Dallas is reporting an assault rifle was used in the killings. This morning, leaders in the area are urging people to remain calm.
It's unnerving to the law enforcement community. It's unnerving to the community at large.
The murders come 2 months after the county's assistant prosecutor, Mark Hassey, was killed on his way to work at the courthouse. Authorities are exploring a possible link between the two crimes. McClellan had vowed justice right after that shooting in January.
I hope that the people that did this are watching, because we're very confident that we're going to find you, we're going to pull you out of whatever hole you're in, and we're going to bring you back and let the people of Kaufman County prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law.
Investigators were already looking into whether the assistant district attorney's murder was connected to another high-profile killing of a public official, Colorado Prison Chief Tom Clemens. The suspect in that case, who was part of a white supremacist group, was later killed in a shootout in North Texas. Right now, federal authorities say they haven't found any solid connection among the murders.
A crucial hearing today in the case against James Holmes, accused in the Aurora Theater massacre that left 12 people dead and 70 others injured, happened last July. Well, later on this morning, prosecutors are expected to say whether they will seek the death penalty. Leanne Gregg is in Colorado now with the latest.
You have a right to be represented by an attorney.
The fate of James Holmes, seen here during an earlier hearing, is now in the hands of prosecutors who later this morning will announce their next move, which could be to seek the death penalty. Last week, they said they're not ready to accept a plea deal offered by the defense. In that deal, Holmes would plead guilty and spend the rest of his life in jail, avoiding a possible death penalty. Prosecutors said they haven't been provided key details they need to consider a plea. They also say that by Holmes making the plea offer directly to the court instead of them, the defense has violated the gag order and is not acting in good faith.
This counter move by defense and prosecution, it doesn't accomplish much of anything except it tells us that there's probably not a plea agreement anytime soon.
Prosecutors have been talking with victims about their thoughts on pursuing execution. Reactions are mixed.
This is the guy who murdered my son. So I don't have any problem with you know, the state going through their process and putting this person, you know, to death.
Sometimes I think death might be the easy way out.
If you get the death penalty, it will take a time for them to enforce the death penalty, and I would like to know that something is being done while I'm alive.
A death penalty case could take years to resolve, an issue prosecutors have likely been weighing in pursuit of a just punishment for the crime. Leanne Gregg, NBC News, Centennial, Colorado.
Well, a crash leaves 2 people dead, and police are searching into the cause this morning.
It happened in Williamson County, and Georgetown police say a person driving on Williams Drive turned onto Del Webb Boulevard and hit a car coming from the other direction. The second car flipped and hit a utility pole. Crews had to cut the car in order to get out the driver, a 29-year-old man. He was taken to the hospital but died on the way. A woman in that same car died at the scene. The other driver was okay, and so far no charges have been filed. We'll follow the developments throughout the day and bring you the latest updates on our website, KXAN.com.
Another crash to tell you about this morning out of Virginia. 3 people were killed and dozens more injured in a multi-vehicle pileup crash. Nearly 100 vehicles piled up on I-77 in Carroll County. Several vehicles even caught fire. Traffic was backed up for 8 miles. And there was some heavy fog in that area at the time of the wreck.
Well, a would-be burglar is in jail this morning, but it's how he was caught that's the real story. Check this out. Around 5 o'clock yesterday morning in Utah, Eric Martin heard a noise, jumped from his bed, grabbed his gun, and ran into the living room. That's where he found the burglar with his arms full of Martin's stuff. Martin chased him out of the house, where the burglar tripped and fell. Martin held him at gunpoint while his girlfriend called the cops, and when they arrived, Martin stayed behind a wall. That's because he was stark naked and a bit shy.
That's probably the only time that one can be naked in public, obviously outside, and not get in trouble for indecent exposure.
Well, the cops hauled the suspect away, probably thanked him later. Martin, meantime, went inside to put on some pants.
Well, another story involves somebody who took off their pants on the golf course during a game. This guy drops his pants just to make a shot. Golfer Andres Hardo removes his shoes and his socks and drops his trousers to take a messy chip shot out of the water. Was it worth saving his pants from getting wet? Hardo finished the tournament 4 under par, and then he tied for 15th.
And if he would have taken a stroke penalty there from the water, it would have cost him about 2,500 euros. So you be the judge.
Is there not a penalty for taking off your pants, though? That should be the real one.
There should be if there's not. But think of it this way: if he gets to 2,500 euros, right, by saving that shot, just shoot with your pants on. You could buy a new pair of pants with that 2,500 euros.
I don't know what's up with those pants.
Right. Hey, whatever floats his boat.
That's right.